We have Allan Willcox with us, who is in the neighborhood, right? Allan, you're what, south of Sacramento, is that right?
Yes, south of Sacramento, yes.
You're with Wilcox Agri Products, but that's also a farming operation that you have too.
Originally, the family came here in 1846 to farm.
Oh.
And in 73, my generation, the fifth generation, started to build a few items that were specific to our needs on the West Coast that we couldn't get from the East. And it kind of mushroomed from there.
What kind of farming are we talking about here?
We've grown wheat, barley, corn, safflower, alfalfa, processing tomatoes, and then we have various orchard crops as well.
Just an example of what you can get away with here in the state, huh?
Right. California is good in that regard.
Yeah. So as you had mentioned several generations back in the 1800s, as you were starting, you're realizing, as you mentioned, that there's some equipment out there that, or some products that you just couldn't get your hands on, or you wanted to retool, right?
Well, California and Arizona also is very unique to the world. There's more places that farm like Iowa than do California. And so that being the case, you know, there is not the intensity for developing equipment that is specific for a certain region when that region is small. But there's a lot of crops that are grown in the West. There's a lot of opportunity in the West for crops, and it's different than everywhere else on the planet. And so any place on the planet that farms similar to the West, we can satisfy their needs. But, you know, there was products that kind of do the basic theory of what we needed, but maybe weren't robust enough or didn't have the trash capability of what we needed in the West. And so they were all pretty simplistic items, and, you know, we're not doing rocket science, but we still meet the Western growers' needs probably better than they can out of Moline, let's say.
Was there an aha moment for you at that when you decided to make the shift from actually being a producer of agriculture to the actual products that help that?
Well, actually, yeah, there was. I mean, I guess you could say in two stages. One, you make something and it actually works and does what you want it to do. That's one moment. But then the second thing, wow, this can carry itself. We can provide growers a service, a product, a technique that really helps their operation along as far as efficiency, profitability, and that's what we're in there for. Mm-hmm. We have a little saying we call the Wilcox Advantage, and what it is as we suffer through the same hurdles that the growers do, it makes it easier for us to focus on, look, this is an area we need to address. This is an area that we need to be more efficient. This is an area where we need to improve. And so it gives us an advantage, and it's more being able to bring cost savings to our customers, making them more efficient, because the West is a difficult place to be in agriculture. It doesn't have some of the breaks that some of the other regions or other countries have insofar as subsidies and pressures from the urban areas. And so it's tougher for a guy to farm in California. So he needs help in that regard, particularly when his crops and his soils and his techniques are so California specific.
Sure. Can we talk about some of these products? What would you like to brag about?
In very plain terms, we got started building heavy-duty subsoilers. In other words, subsoilers that would eliminate compaction in our heavy western soils that we compact with irrigation, heavy harvesting equipment, trucks and what have you, and we farm deeper out here and we don't have freezing and thawing. So the initial products that we built were simple, heavy-duty subsoilers that were efficient, left the ground in good shapes for your subsequent operations, but held together. Recently, we've had to even up it a little bit in that we've got to cut operations, but still give the grower the same yield potential, the same environment that he needs for those crops. And so we have various both row equipment and broad acres equipment in that we combine operations and bring new efficiencies with our eliminators and our performer line that have the same durability that our big rippers do, and our big plows do, but in some cases are saving the growers 50 to 60% on their passes, fuel, labor, expense costs, but still without ever giving up field finish, because yield is king.
No.
And so that has been our latest achievement, is bringing new efficiencies in tillage to the grower.
So are you located on your operation there?
Yes.
Okay.
One of the plant is adjacent to one of the ranches that we do farm. Yeah.
No, good deal. So somebody wanted to find out more information about Wilcox Agri Products, and again, as you said, it kind of be designed for the California area, but there are other areas out there in this world.
Oh yeah, throughout the world, anyone that farms similar to California, there is many places in Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, Arizona. We have a real good spectrum of growers and dealers in Mexico, Hawaii, China. There's a lot of places.
All right. Where can we find more info about you?
WilcoxAP.com.
WilcoxAP.com?
Right.
All right.
Right.
We'll
That's the easiest place to get a hold
We'll
of.
check that out. Allan Willcox from Wilcox Agri Products. Thanks for joining us here.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. World Ag Expo.